Greetings. This is going to be an all 12 sign check-in, starting with Capricorn, ending with Sagittarius. If you don't know what that means, go to Google, type in free birth chart, fill out your information, check all of your placements: Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, at least those ones. Okay, Capricorn, right off the bat, some of you can be in your head contemplating breaking away, needing to make a change. I was hearing that song, I'll spread my wings and I'll learn how to fly. So some of my Capricorns are quite literally wanting to spread your wings. You could be learning how to fly. I'm also hearing the, is it like Lenny Kravitz? I want to get away. I want to fly away. So someone here could want to fly away from something. I'm also hearing one, I never read this, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest or something. Isn't that a book about like a crazy person? Someone here could feel like they're dealing with something crazy or a crazy person. I was going to do cards for this, but I'm just channeling right now. So yeah, there's definitely Capricorn energy. Now keep in mind, I read Vedic sidereal, so if you think you're an Aquarius, you actually very well could be a Capricorn. So there is that. That's a whole different thing. You can message me if you want information on that. But anywho, Capricorn. Some of my Capricorns want to get away from a situation. They could quite literally be wanting to divorce. They could be wanting to break away from a company and make their own company. They could be wanting to leave to start an empire somewhere else. They could want to pack a bag and move across the world. Some of my Capricorns could want to go towards an Aries, or they could be dealing with someone who's an Aries. Some of my Capricorns can be very much in their head about someone who kind of emasculated them in the kindest terms of saying this. Someone here could feel like they're a very masculine man, but someone else kind of checkmated them and made them feel really emasculated, and then they realized how not masculine they were, because instead of facing the confrontation, they actually just like withered away in the corner in the cave. They like passively backed out of something, and it's kind of like not sitting with you right. If you're the Capricorn male I'm talking to, it's like something isn't sitting with you right because you were quiet, you let something pass, you let something go by, you let something skirt by that is bothering you because it goes against your integrity and what you believe. So for some of my Capricorns, you could have let something pass that completely goes against your moral standard, your integrity, your belief system, or how you like to portray yourself. And so some of my Capricorns can be figuring out how to make something right. Some of my Capricorns can also feel like something is stalling or is a certain way in their life because they didn't confront something, because they left something be kind of open-ended. So it can be kind of one of those medicines of the universe where now things are being left open-ended with you, or you don't know where you really stand, or things are just kind of like, ooh, because, you know, you left something like that. So we do have a lot of retrogrades right now, especially with Saturn and Mercury in retrograde. People are going to be confronted with things of the past that they did not properly wrap up, that they did not properly tend to, and things will be kind of circling around that are similar. Okay. Yeah, for a lot of my Capricorns, there's something big on travel, and you could have like some impromptu travel in the next 2 days, 2 weeks, or 2 months. Okay, I'm going to go on to Aquarius because I just don't have time to do long readings for everyone right now. For some of my Aquarians, the heart wants what it wants. So for some of my Aquarians, you make me feel. Okay, some of my Aquarians, something is making you feel. You make me feel like I can feel again. So some of my Aquarians, you could have been like, I don't have emotion, I don't feel anything, and then you met someone or you had an experience and now you're feeling things. And you're keeping those feelings to yourself still, like you haven't communicated these feelings, but you have them and it's kind of bothering you, and they are festering and they are growing. And for some of my Aquarians, this can even be manifesting as overindulgence. So it's like you're wondering why you're like gaining weight or something, and it's like, oh, because I have been drinking instead of telling the person that I feel something. I've just been doing that, or I've been eating and playing video games. Like for some of my Aquarians, there can be some kind of like avoidant comfort behavior here, where it's like if you would just communicate the thing, then you wouldn't have this like compulsive desire to kind of like snack on something or overindulge or binge on something. And for some of my Aquarians right now, Spirit is just really wanting you to kind of learn what your coping mechanisms are and get more honest with yourself about your coping mechanisms, because when things kind of go south emotionally in your life, rather than you voicing it, you could kind of go to your coping mechanisms. And Spirit right now is wanting you to realize that you need to exchange those for healthier coping mechanisms, or or just get rid of the coping mechanisms and speak and learn to communicate and express your emotions from the start. And for some of my Aquarians, that can be kind of scary or, you know, yeah, a little daunting. For some of my Aquarians, having a child or a pet could be forcing you into better communication patterns, especially with a partner or with anyone that you share a child or a pet with. For some of my Aquarians, you could be tired of being lonely, doing things on your own, and you are actually wanting to kind of build something with someone, but when it comes to expressing your emotions, you're not really sure how. It's like some of my Aquarians, you could feel like you want the other person to express more, but then you could be turned off by people that do that, because then they come off as kind of desperate or chasing you, and you're not attracted to that, so you're like, well, I wouldn't even want to be in a commitment with that kind of behavior. But then the people that you would actually want to be in a commitment with are not going to chase you because they're more feminine energies, and so they desire a true masculine to court them properly, and you know, they're not going to do some sort of game thing. So for some of my Aquarians, there is something here about being more honest with yourself. It's like what you want is not going to do the things that the people that you don't want are doing, so you're going to have to change what you're doing to get what you want, kind of thing. Now for my Aquarians in a relationship, there could definitely be some shifts that are occurring. Now, I know people always say, like, having a baby does not fix things, it can make things worse, da-da-da, but I'm not gonna lie, for some of my Aquarians here, having a child or getting a pet together actually is going to make your relationship, your bond stronger. So for some of my Aquarians, it's very few, you'll know if this is you or not, you can feel like that honeymoon period all over again whenever you actually like have a child with someone or when you have a pet with someone, and that is going to be kind of like a maturation of your own soul, because it's like you're going to have a sense of like instinctual protection over this thing that you share together. And there, I don't know, there's something for my Aquarians where it's like, actually it is a little old school in a weird way, where it's like you're actually going to be activated emotionally in ways that you couldn't be activated without having a child or a pet, like something other than you and your person that you need to be responsible to keep alive, more or less. For some of my Aquarians, you could be needing to rest, or your pet or your child could be needing to rest. There could be like a short, like little injury here. So just be mindful of that, or short-term sickness. For some of my Aquarians, there's something here that you need to take more breaks on. You can be like overzealous about something or a workaholic about something, and then not only does it tank your mood and your energy, but then you bring that energy around your people and it tanks their energy, and then you can't enjoy your experience with them, and it's like a vicious cycle of workaholic and then kind of bringing that crap home and then projecting that crap onto your home environment, and then it's stewing and festering in the home environment, and then you go back to work with that same like not so great. So for some of my Aquarians, there is some sort of vicious cycle here. It's like, especially if you have a job where you have to get up really early and you're just like, well, great, 4:45 again, here we go again, the same old HE double hockey sticks that I'm living in. It's like, well, if you're speaking over your day like that, then yeah, nothing's going to change. So for some of my Aquarians, there's something here about really needing to, you know, make lemonade out of lemons. And when life gives you the lemons, make the lemonade and add some flavor to it. I've been in love with I do love grapefruit, but I don't know. I've been obsessed with grapefruit lately. So I don't know. There's something here, Aquarius, of needing to kind of like switch something up, switch up a mindset, switch up a story. You have a very strong story about something, about a work situation, about a particular thing, and it's like that situation is not going to change until your story changes and you allow it to evolve into something else, because it's almost like your story over the situation is crippling it and keeping it how it is, and it cannot change while you are committed to that story. I heard a really great quote on this. You cannot reason with any being that is committed to misunderstanding you. You cannot reason with it. And so Aquarius, there can be someone around you that's like, I literally can't reason with Aquarius because they're committed to seeing a situation in only their perspective. They will not open up and see the situation from any other perspective, and thus it cannot change. So there is something like that. Okay, Pisces. For some of my Pisces, you could be communicating severance. You are severing ties with a Casanova, with a lover boy, with someone who's like, yeah, I'm looking for my wife, I'm looking for my queen, who has like community eggplant. And no, there's like, for some of my Pisces ladies, there's definitely someone here who's trying to schmooze you, who is not actually looking for what they say they're looking for. Actions speak louder than words. So just for my ladies, as always, what, like 30, 60, 90-day rule, whatever it is for you, just vet these suitors. Don't listen to their words, watch their actions over time. They'll tell on themselves. Now, for some of my Pisces, this is kind of a time period of needing to, I don't want to say like date like you're, you know, doing job interviews, but kind of, honestly, it's like, don't let your emotions get involved, or don't let people like hook you by emotions at the beginning, because you really can't know someone. It's like, there's something here, Pisces, where you could be going about dating completely differently. Like just upfront being like, you know, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I like to do. Just like seeing if you can do the day in and day out. I was getting kind of like an 8 of Pentacles energy. So that's like partnership. Can we work well together? Would we cook well in the kitchen together? Do we have similar ideas about physical fitness and personal health? Do we have similar views on religion? Or if we don't, can we reconcile something when it comes to raising children to come to agreement? Like there's something here, Pisces, about not just being caught up in like, oh, they're attractive and they're saying all the right things and oh my gosh, like they brought me flowers. There's something, Pisces, where it's like you need to get grounded when it comes to dating and really like vet them and take note when people are like not wanting to go through that process because they're telling on themselves that they're actually not looking for something serious. They just, you know, I don't know. Yeah. So there's something here about cutting out the Casanovas. Yeah, a lot of my Pisces are definitely turning their backs on suitors. Like if you thought you were going to start dating someone, or you were starting to date someone, I don't see that lasting, just because someone is full of crap. Now, for some of my Pisces, you could have someone who was full of crap from the past wanting to come back around and actually present something of substance. Someone wanting another chance. So someone here is definitely wanting to spin the block. For some of my Pisces, you'll know if you feel safe giving this person another chance. And for some of my Pisces, you'll know absolutely not. Like, you'll know what situation it is for you. Yeah, absolutely not, like I said. Because for some of my Pisces, this person was just straight dogging you to your face, like straight dogging you. And they've also like completely slandered you to like friends and family. And a lot of it is lies because they just want to feel good about themselves. They ostracize situations with the Strength and the 7 of Swords. They kind of like make it insurmountable, which is funny because it's like they did fudge up, because they do see you as someone that they really could spend the rest of their life with, that they believe this is a God-ordained connection with the Hierophant and the Lovers, but they messed it up being a Casanova F-boy having community eggplant. And say no to community eggplant, Pisces. That is the summary of my single Pisces reading. And if you are a community eggplant, then shame on you. You got to be celibate for a couple years. And I mean, you don't have to, but you're going to have a miserable go at it coming up if you don't. And I told you so. So, okay. Pisces that are in relationships. There can be some disappointment. Again, remember, we have a lot of retrogrades, so it is best for my Pisces in relationships to just kind of pause, take some space, you know, let your, like, guys go golfing with your boys or whatever it is, and girls go have a spa day or go do a girls' weekend or a girls' night with your girls, or go spend time with your families. For my Pisces in relationships, it does seem like just some simple time apart and being with other people will allow you to appreciate one another a little more and allow things, you know, if there's kind of like a monotone, monotonous schedule of things, it will kind of switch that up as well. Moving on to Aries. For some of my Aries, you can have a married person really stressed because they would rather be with you, but they like know that it would be like too expensive for them to really go through with a divorce or something. So it's like frustrating because they know you won't be a mistress to them. Or for married Aries men who want to be with an earth sign. There's earth and fire signs here. Take it whatever side of the fence you're on. Someone is married. Someone does not want to be with the person that they're married to. But it's frustrating because the person that they'd rather be with will not be a side piece, and they know it will be really expensive to separate from their marriage. Let's get another story, because I don't like reading into that one. For some of my Aries who are dating, you are just cutting off suitors because it's like none of them really add up. I said it before the death card came out. Again, I really don't need these cards. I can just channel, but they're fun. Some people, I don't know. It's just pieces of paper with pictures on them. But yeah, for a lot of my Aries, you're keeping, I know you want the goodies, but you're keeping the goodies to yourself because you're like, I don't want community eggplant. I don't want someone who wants to ride on my coattails. Like some of my Aries, you can just be really passionate and full force into your life purpose, and you're around people who just aren't full force in their life purpose. And it's like, well, God said that we're meant to be equally yoked, and I'm full force in my life purpose, so it would not be equally yoked for me to be with someone, to be partnered with someone who is not full force living their life purpose. That's not equally yoked. That just, you know, the math ain't mathing. So for a lot of my Aries, people could say that you're like cold or hard to get to or this or that, and it's like, that's all BS. It's just you're living your life purpose, they're not, and they're trying to project onto you that you're a certain way rather than take responsibility for the fact that they're just like diddle-daddling and not living their life purpose and not being integral to their heart and living an authentic life to what their heart desires. So for a lot of my Aries, you're triggering to people because you're living in your truth, you're honoring your heart and living in integrity, and you blatantly are a mirror to people who aren't doing that and who are just like getting to get by and using others to get by and living in survivalism and scarcity consciousness. So for a lot of my Aries, it's just frustrating because you're not finding people who aren't in scarcity consciousness. So you're just, you know, going around, but your heart is open. So I am reading for a single Aries who does have an open heart and is ready for love, but they just want someone who is their equal, who is also living passionately in their life purpose. Now for my Aries in relationships, it does seem like things are good. You can be celebrating a new pet, a new family member. For some of my Aries, there can definitely be some healing going on. There can also be getting together over, you know, like losses. You know, like people say funerals can also be reunions and get-togethers. So there can be like kind of some misfortune or unfortunate situations that are bringing people together. And it's like a blessing when the people are brought together. So in Aries, this can also be in like a work situation where it's like you're looking for something and you're not finding the right situation or the right person for the job. But by commingling with others and kind of joining forces with others, you will find something. I don't know, there's something here, Aries, where it's like you are being told to get out there, to commune with others, to go to the things, you know, to put your foot in the door, to be involved with something, to show up. So there is something coming through with that. For a lot of my Aries, there is definitely a lot of travel here. Some of my Aries could do seasonal work or contractual work, and there can be something coming in the next 1 to 3 months that you would be moving for or traveling for. Yeah, and for a lot of my Aries, again, you are just living solo. You're living solo, you're doing that independent thing. You're feeling strong on your own. You don't want the dead weight. You don't want nonsense, kind of like the Pisces reading. Like you don't want someone to just blindside you or say the right things. You want something tangible that you can build over time. And with the 9 of Pentacles, this is a solid single individual who has really built a secure foundation, knows themselves, has been through the initiations of life, and takes care of their body, takes care of their mind, takes care of their spirit and their relationship with God or whatever they believe in. This is someone who is all of that. And so because of that, they will not deal with the schmoozing, the people, like there's just zero tolerance for that. And people can feel some kind of way about it and say whatever slander and gossip they want about a person who lives that way, but it's again just because they don't have that same integrity, so it's bothersome to them. Okay, after Aries is Taurus. For a lot of my Taurans, you can be getting extra rest right now, you could be napping right now, you could be feeling so tired, you could be wondering, you know, like what's up? Spirit is like, no, honestly, you need a sabbatical. You need like a 4-day sabbatical. So for my Taurans who are workaholics, wherever you can get that nap, you know, wherever you can rest a little, even if it's at your lunch break, instead of like going out to the community lunch, you like go in your car and you put on some binaural beats and put on like a black eye cover and just like take a nap for 20 minutes. Like there's something here for my Taurans where less is more right now, and you are being called to rest because it seems like something is going to really pick up in 4 weeks, and Spirit is really wanting you to have all of your reserves like full. So there's something here where you do need to really rest up. For some of my Taurans, you can have people that are trying to kind of push you around or feel like you're being too lazy or that you're resting too much, or must be nice to just be blah, 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 must be nice. And Spirit is like, pay them no mind. People are always going to judge. People are always going to have, you know, their own opinions and their stories on things. But so long as you live, you know, life in your lane, you keep your eyes in your lane, let God deal with the people who are so hell-bent on focusing on others' lanes rather than focusing on their own, because it will whiplash back to them rather abruptly the longer that they try and obsess over what's going on in your life on your side of the fence, and the less that they tend to their side of the fence. For some of my Taurans, yeah, you're in like it's a deep feminine rest energy. It's a big manifestation energy. This would be a really good time to take like breaks from social media or to like rebrand and then pop out with something. This would be a great time for you to take a 48-hour fast from technology, or to go camping, or to spend a little extra time outside. If you live in a big city, you have a demanding job and children, things like that. Maybe it's just getting in an hour nature walk at your local, you know, pretty park or nature reserve, something like that. Doing things like that will be really important for you this week, Taurus. Focusing on listening to like relaxing music, binaural beats, 432 hertz, 727, something with dolphins, maybe even like dolphin sounds, or like I always put on cat TV for my cat because he loves it. But at night I always do the underwater ones with sea turtles or dolphins, and there's like all different sound ones, but I don't know, it's just like really relaxing, and it's a really nice meditative time, and I tend to journal at that time. And it's like a lot of Taurans, you might benefit from like late at night on your family, you know, big screen TV, like put on some underwater sea creatures with some relaxing music, like change the ambiance, like change the colors of the light bulbs, or light some candles. There's something here, Taurus, about just really creating a cozy environment that's either like underwater or like in a cave or like in a nook, like underground. Like there's something here about burrowing, something about burrow, a den, something with Denny's, I don't know, anything with B names or D, bear, like bear, spirit animal energy is coming through really strong. You know, bears hibernate, that's the word I was looking for. For some of my Taurans, this can be kind of like a hibernation period, and you can have people that are trying to disrupt that, or trying to make you feel guilty for that, or trying to make you feel like, no, this is not a hibernation period. And it's like, well, maybe not for them, but their life is not your life. So you're being told, have patience and hibernate, honestly, with temperance. This is a slow moving energy. This is also nurture yourself. You have to put yourself first, because if you don't have your mask on, how can you save anyone else? You can't. So there is a situation here, Taurus, where you do need to really prioritize your rest and deep healing, like deep inner healing. And that's going to allow for something to kind of emerge around December or January with that temperance energy. That's late Sag energy. So moving on to Gemini. Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Gemini, I'm hearing, guess who's back? Back again. Shady's okay. So someone here could be coming back to an arena, back to a ring. Someone here could be in sports, or a rapper, or a musical person, or a performer of some sort. And someone here could have spent a lot of time out of the saddle, or out of the ring, or off stage, and, you know, get you, because it's about to be go time. I don't know, it's about to be go time for some of my Geminis. Get ready for it. I'm hearing get ready for it. Giddy up. 4 weeks. Something could be happening in 4 weeks. There could be something that you need to get ready for, or you're going to take 4 weeks to do something. Oh yeah. There's definitely like big show, big competition, or big performance or a big job offer. There's something here, Gemini. And if it is a Gemini with dating, this can definitely be something where if you have been single for a really long time or just not taking people seriously, it is like buckle up, because something that could be very long lasting and serious is just around the corner. For some of my Geminis, you've already talked to this person, or you've already seen this company, or you already know about this. Again, if it's a job, you already know about the company. If it's a show or a competition, you already know about the competition, or already know about the sponsors who put it on. You already know about the arena. If it's dating, like you've already seen this person online, or you've already like interacted or liked something of theirs. Like there is an acquaintanceship, is what Spirit is telling me. You are in acquaintance with this person. It doesn't seem like it's an ex or an ex-employer or things like that, although they could also be lurking. The good offer seems like it's someone who, they've maybe heard about you, or they've seen you, or you've seen them, or you've heard about them. And there's definitely long distance involved. And for some of my Geminis, someone here also could need just time after something has ended. I think about some of my really more serious relationships, and even though when it was done, I knew it was done, it's like I really wasn't ready to date for like a year or two after some of those. So even if someone is fresh out of something and like you want to be available, the heart and the soul and God has different plans for us. So for some of my Geminis, this can be something where it's like you saw someone or someone saw you, but they were fresh out of something and they were not ready to like fully commit or fully step into or really build. And it's like they didn't want to mess something up when they knew darn well, like, I am not prepared for this kind of responsibility in this job or in this potential relationship. So rather than potentially like screwing it up, I'm just going to avoid it altogether, and I'll approach in the future if it's still available. And it seems like for some of my Geminis, it's still available. So yeah, and this definitely could be the one. Like, absolutely. Absolutely. For a lot of my Geminis, if you're single, you definitely could already know the person that you can really build an incredible, abundant, beautiful life with. But someone is going to have to be vulnerable and reach out. Make the offer. Otherwise, it's going to be a wish fulfillment reversed. Yeah, it's like someone here goes back and forth. Two of Swords, Two of Pentacles. Should I do this? Should I not do this? Should I offer this? Should I not? I mean, if you don't try, you'll never know, okay? So for some of my Geminis, if you don't try, you'll never know. So I feel like you should. But some of my Geminis are still not emotionally available. And some of my Geminis who have like a platform or who are a performer or well-known in their industry, like you have a lot of options and you could feel like that other person has a lot of options. And for someone, this is just like shut down mode. Like someone here just shuts down. They're like, I just can't even, because there are just so many options, or they feel like someone gets so much attention or they get so much attention, and it really irks someone. I've never understood that. I've really never understood that. Because it's like, once you really deeply connect with another being heart to heart, you understand that everything else is just outside noise. And I feel like the only people who can really spend all of their time so stressed out about the superficial, flat, fake attention that someone gets, or just, media attention someone gets, is someone who just simply has not ever had a really deep emotional bond with someone. Because if you have, then you would understand that that's all this attention is it's very superficial. And I don't know, there's something here where someone is spending way too much time in their head about how something looks. Now, there is another situation here, Gemini, presenting itself. This can also be someone who is stressed because a friend group has already dogged, or like someone has already been put down in a friend group. So someone's like, I can't go towards that person because it will cause chaos in this friend group, this work group, because I've already said too much, or I already sided with the people who are talking down on someone. So someone here can be really upset because they feel like something is a lost opportunity and they'll never be able to go towards it because they didn't stick up for someone, or they themselves even said something negative and kind of blasphemous with the Seven of Cups here about another person. Yeah, so I don't know, there's some gossip affecting things, Gemini. Okay, Geminis in relationships, quickly, it looks decent. With the Lover's card, it is a card of choice. So for some of my, and the Devil. Okay. No, for some of my Geminis, this is actually the epitome of when people try and say the blanket statement of like, oh, you're the other woman. Well, if he cheated on the main woman, he's going to cheat on you too. But actually, this is a genuine situation for some of my Geminis. And as a wedding photographer for almost 20 years, I can genuinely say this. I have seen multiple times where the guy divorces the main woman and ends up marrying the side chick. And it's actually a beautiful, happy, loving relationship. And I know people don't want to hear that, but as a wedding photographer for almost 2 decades, it's true, and it happens more often than people like to admit. So for some of my Geminis, this can be that situation where it's like, you're with someone, you've been with them for a while, but it's just kind of and then someone else was kind of a side piece, and it's like, you know, it can be the situation where it's like you dated this person for 5 years, but you never wanted to marry them because you knew you weren't all in. But then the second you break up with them and you end up committing to the side piece, you're like engaged to the side piece in 3 months because they already know everything about you. They know your shadow side. They've seen your good and your bad. You're not hiding things from them. Like, there's just more authentic knowing, even if it's not like the greatest integrity. So I know some people don't want to hear that, but that's what's coming through. Okay, after Gemini is Cancer. Cancer, who are you blocking? Or someone is blocking. Someone's blocked. Someone is blocked. Someone's blocked. So it can't reconcile. Like, if you block someone, even if you're like, I hate when people do this. Well, I only blocked them on Facebook and Instagram. I didn't block their phone number. Or I only blocked their phone number. I didn't block them on Facebook. It's like, you blocked them. You blocked them. So a normal human being is going to be like, okay, someone blocked me on this one thing. I guess I'll just like turn my back and do my own thing because, you know. So I don't know. Someone here blocked someone. Or someone here is blocking someone. Some of my Cancers can also be scared of, is that a Halsey song? I'm scared of love, cause I'm afraid to love, I'm scared of love. I don't know, whatever that song is. Someone here is scared to love, that's for sure. Yeah, so for my single Cancers, it's like someone's not enjoying the just like messing around lifestyle. Like, they can have a lot of little one night stands and where they don't even go all the way, because a page energy to me isn't going all the way. This is like, we made out, we got a little handsy, and then I ghosted them or they ghosted me and I never saw them again. And it's like, after a while, a lot of those experiences, Cancer, are very unfulfilling. Very unfulfilling. Now, this is another off-ended thing. For some of my Cancers, you could have a pet that gets a little spry or a kid that gets a little rowdy, and they could injure themselves playing or during a sport. So be careful, be extra cautious with your pets and with your children. For some of my Cancers who are married, you also could be having a hard time having your kid like fit in. Like, your kid could feel like it's difficult for them to make friends, or your animal could feel like it's difficult. Like, some animal or child is feeling left out. And for some of my Cancerian parents, you could be trying to find a way to like mediate and find where this kid or this animal like learns the best, what their favorite sport or hobby is going to be, who their friend group is going to be, what school they should go to, or what daycare they should go to. There is stuff like that going on for some of my Cancers. And it looks like you're going to find them a perfect friend. I love this. 5 of Pentacles with the Page of Wands, 6 of Pentacles with the Page of Cups. Yeah, so this is so clear as day. So for some of my Cancers, if you have children or pets, if you're thinking about getting another pet, if you were like already on the fence of getting a pet because you're like, I don't want the responsibility, then you got a pet, and now you're like, great, I got a pet, I really can't get a second pet because it's already hard for me to get one pet. You're being told, get the second pet, because it's actually going to make your life easier. It's going to make the quality of life of your animal happier. And for my Cancers who are expecting another, if you have an only child, they're going to be like best friends with this person. And for some of my Cancers who are worried about your child not making friends, they're definitely going to find a great friend at daycare or at school this fall in September sometime. And you're going to be hearing about this person. They could also be, you know, like coming over for sleepovers and things like that. For some of my Cancers, something... You could be dealing with a Gemini, or I'm talking to a Cancer who is actually a Gemini in Vedic sidereal. So this means your birthday is at the very beginning of July. then you're actually a true Gemini. Why do I say that? Because these two cards, the Devil and the Lovers, came out in the Gemini reading, and it came out together in this reading, Cancer, with the Seven of Wands. They all three came out together, and it's about what you're dealing with in the environment. So for some of my Cancers, you could say this is strong, twin flame, soulmate, whatever word you want to put on it. Someone in the past rejected someone that actually would be a really good option for them, and they went with the fake. It ended up not being happy. They didn't like the choice, so they had a choice. They chose the wrong one. Now they're sad that they chose the wrong one. With the Ten of Swords in the reverse, they would like to reverse. Baby, come back. They would like to have another chance with the person that they rejected because they didn't like the option that they took. However, someone's blocked. So they could have messaged someone and then the person didn't get the message at all. It's like they had A and B. They chose A and, you know, B ended up blocking them. Well, A was the bad choice. So now they want to go with B, but B has them blocked, but B actually would be a good choice for them. And it's like, even though obviously we don't want to be the other person with their guy, girl, they, them, whatever you are, no one likes being the other person. However, when you're dating and you're openly dating and you're getting to know multiple people and you're not sleeping with them and you're actually just like, hey, you know, I think I'm going to focus on this person. Because I don't feel like the main person slept with both of these people. I don't feel like they got far at all with person B. I think they just chose person A and then they never got to know person B. So my point is, it would be kind of petty and silly for person B to block someone just because they chose one person to focus on and they respectfully stopped talking to person B so they could focus on person A. But now they're realizing person A isn't the right choice and they want to go back to person B. So sorry if that was really confusing, but long story short, for some of my Cancers, there could be a really beautiful missed opportunity here because someone is petty. And I don't know, it's just like, no, you chose wrong. You didn't choose me the first time. So you don't get to ever, I don't know. It's like they're robbing themselves from a really great relationship. For my Cancers who are in a relationship with the Hierophant, it looks steady. You could be, oh, then we have a Three of Swords. Well, let's see what the Three of Swords is. Okay. For some of my Cancers, my greatest condolences. If you've been having trouble conceiving, if you've been having trouble having a second, having a first, having a third, if you've lost a child, if you've lost a pet, it does seem like the Cancer that I'm connecting with that Three of Swords there, is due to loss, whether it's miscarriage or just not being able to conceive again or having trouble with that or losing a pet. This could also be kind of nearing up on the anniversary or the birthday of like a really beloved pet or someone close in the family. There's definitely, like, your partner is definitely going to be a person of solace for you, but there's also a need here for some of my Cancers to have a little extra compassion and empathy with someone because they could be silently grieving. They could act like they're happy. Like, this could be someone who has 2 kids and it's like, God bless my 2 kids. I'm not going to be upset that I keep miscarrying and I can't have a third. But it's like, that's a life, that's a soul. They felt connected to that. They were carrying that. That is deeply traumatic for a woman to experience. And so there's something here of needing to have just a little extra compassion and empathy because you could be dealing with that or someone close to you could be dealing with that. And it can, you know, bring the relationship closer together. So, okay, after Cancer is Leo. Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Leo. For some of my Leos, you could be looking at someone. I spy with my little eye a curly-headed cutie that didn't get too many likes. Okay, that's a Kyle song, I Spy. So for some of my Leos, you could have your eyes on someone or someone could have their eyes on you or a little bit of both. But there could be distance here. There could be, you know, other things in the way. There's always something in the way. That's what I was hearing. There's always something in the way. So someone here has their eyes on someone from a distance. They would like to travel and see them. They would like, but it's like every time they're about to open their mouth, it's like something comes up. Every time they're about to message this person, then something else happens or gets in the way. It's like, it just doesn't seem to ever be the right time, and it's really frustrating. This could also be something that ends up coming together, but it doesn't come together until like November or December, which would also make sense because I believe all of the retrogrades are kind of going direct around November. So things will move more smoothly and fluidly around November and December this year. Yeah, there is something about 3 months from now. And for some of my Leos, you could be, I don't want to wait for our lives to be over. Da-da. I want to know right now, what will this be? I don't know what the lyrics are to that song. But someone here, I don't want to wait. Someone here does not want to wait, okay, Leo? But at the same time, they are keeping to themselves 4 Pentacles with the Queen of Wands. This is someone who knows their worth, can be very sexy or attractive, but they keep it to themselves. They're not out here on the streets. They can be like, I know this looks good, but you're just going to see it from the audience. You're just going to see it from out there. Like, get your filthy paws off my silky drawers. This is this kind of energy. So for some of my Leos, if you're like worried about someone getting snatched up, you don't have to worry about it because it seems like this person whoosh, runs a tight ship. Yeah, and they ghost a lot of people. This can also be one of those things where someone is like, kind of like in the Gemini, you could have Gemini in your chart, where the Gemini reading is like, man, I like this person, but they're attractive and they get a lot of attention, so I don't stand a chance. Little do they realize that that person doesn't give anyone a chance and is like single as a Pringle, spending all their time alone. Like, they're not, I don't know, people are so, it's so wild to me, the insane, like, projections and just assumptions that people will put on others' lives, because someone here really does just keep to themselves, and they take no crap. They take no crap. With the High Priestess and the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Swords, they see everything 10 miles away. They call it out 10 miles away. They can sniff it out from 10 miles away. Like, you can't get over on this person. So for some of my Leos, yeah, someone runs a tight ship. For some of my Leos, someone here did miss out on a really good opportunity because they went with something that was more convenient or that even helped their pockets. Like, this could be a business. This can be like someone shares their business with someone, like people who, you know, are like, they take photos together, or someone does photos, the other person does video, and it's like, and they ended up living together because it saves the money. It's like, man, I can't end things with that person because they're second shooting all these weddings and events for me, and we live together. So like, even though I don't really want to be with them anymore, I can't really end things because my money and my stability depends on it. So for some of my Leos, there was that, but it does seem like that situation also imploded on itself. Someone here feels like a lot of time has passed, and they don't know if it's too much time has passed. Yeah, and someone here is not happy with their past actions. Like, someone here thought that they, you know, were getting all of it with the Devil and the Knight of Wands, but with the King of Wands in the reverse, they could have just contracted something, or just contracted a lot of crap and a lot of loss when it comes to partnerships, business endeavors, a lot of burned bridges. But it's like someone here feels like they've paid their karma in that, or they've spent a lot of time alone, or a lot of time having to fix things, or they've even had like physical ailments and setbacks with the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. So this can be like they didn't see something, so then something happens to their eye, and now they're healing from this eye injury, or they're like half blind in an eye or something, and they're not realizing it's because they weren't seeing something that was right in front of them. Like, there's something that is physically correlated in the body. It's like someone here is like too fast. They're doing something too quickly, and so they sprain something, and then they have to rest on that thing because they didn't slow down. Slow down. I just want to get to know you. Da, 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 da. Okay, with the Hierophant and the Sun card though, Leo, there is a true partnership here, but it does require someone making things right. Making things right. And for my Leos who are in relationships, if you have a partner or you yourself can get a little hot-headed or aggressive or haughty, I do see like an apology. I see like a making up of things, I don't know, just a peaceful passage is what Spirit said, actually. And for some of my Leos, there's someone here that like doesn't want you to be that happy, or someone here that like watches. This can also be like an ex or someone from a distance who like just can't believe. They just can't believe like a certain way you're living or what you're doing or like something about your life. They just like can't believe, oh my gosh, this person was never going to get married. This person was never, don't worry about the naysayers. Okay. It's like one of those things. It's like haters are actually your biggest fans. And if you don't have haters, you're not living your life full enough and passionately enough. So take it as a compliment that someone just can't believe that you have like a beautiful family life when they thought that you never were going to be that kind of person, but they aren't you. So why would they think that you are any kind of person? Just doesn't make sense to me at all. So again, people need to stay in their own lane and tend to their own stuff. Okay, after Leo is Virgo. For some of my Virgos, you are putting your foot down. You are making a decision. You are making this choice. That is the final offer. That is the final decision. I'm hearing like a gavel, order in the court. Someone here could be going to court. Someone here could be dealing with a court situation. Someone here could be dealing with officials in some sort of capacity, or bosses, or taking it to the big boss, sticking it to the man. Someone here is really sticking it to the man. Someone here is having like a man-to-man, like heart-to-heart, like no BS, straight shooting conversation with someone. For a lot of my Virgos, this is a male to male business thing or friendship or family thing. And it's like you're clearing the air, you're putting your foot down, you're letting someone know, like you're letting someone know about themselves, Virgo. Okay. Oof. Now, this can be like a scorned business partner or an ex-friend, someone who you thought had your back. Ooh, ooh, I'm hearing 70 times 7. 70 times 7. Who knows that song from the old days? When you said best friends means friends forever. Is that what you call a getaway? Tell me what you got away with, 'cause I've seen more spine in jellyfish. I've seen more guts in 11-year-old kids. So, something, something, and drive yourself home. I hope there's ice on all the roads. And don't forget, don't forget something about the seatbelt in your head when it goes through the windshield. I don't know. So 70 times 7. That's a song where one of the lead singers was like, he wrote that song about his best friend who was also in the band because his best friend was screwing his girl. So for some of my Virgos, there could be a messy situation here where someone could be like, nah, dude, I didn't do your girl. I didn't. And yeah, he did. Oh yeah, he did. Or yeah, she did. There's definitely that kind of situation going on, because for me to hear that song, and it's a very specific song. Now, it is just a song on betrayal in general. So for some of my Virgos, there could be a very stark situation about betrayal here, and someone is just putting their foot down and they're calling it out. Man, that is not a song that I like to channel. This is only going to be very specific for certain Virgos. Is that what you call me? I'm gonna have to listen to that song now after, because it's such a passionate song. I love that song, but like, ooh, you can just hear, like, ooh. It's a heartbreaking situation. Like, I can't help it, Virgo. The Virgo that I'm connecting to, there is flat out betrayal in a situation. Flat out betrayal. A work situation, a home situation, a romantic situation. There is flat out betrayal. Just like, gutted. But Spirit is also like, God had to do this because God only takes things from our lives to make room for new and for more authentic connections. So that just means, Virgo, even though it's like something is really painful, it's like that is literally how God is bringing a blessing in, and the old things have to be pruned. The things that are not going where you're going must be taken, must be pruned from the situation. And it is going to be heartbreaking. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So, I mean, the Virgo I'm reading for, this isn't going to be every Virgo's reading. It's really not. I hope it's not. Because all of these cards are just really sad. There's someone here that's like, they don't want to see what they're looking at. Like, they refuse to see it. They refuse to see it. This like literally makes me think of like, I tried getting back with one of my long-term exes, and he talked so much crap on one of his high school exes, and we, like, long story short, he was talking to me and her. He was dating her. When he was dating me, he was taking me to the lake with his family. The next day he was taking her to the lake. Like, his family knew about it. Like, everyone knew except me and the girl. And when I confronted her, she didn't even believe me until I, like, sent her screenshots. So this can be a situation, Virgo, where it's like, you're hanging out with their family. the other person is hanging out with their family too. Like there's something here where there's just like flat out disgusting betrayal here. Like disgusting betrayal. I'm sorry, but yeah, I just had to share that. So, okay. What else with Virgo? There are some Virgos who definitely could be traveling for a new love. I'm hearing Another Love by whatever Odell. Another love, all my tears. But yeah, all my tears have been used up on another love. I want to kiss you, make you feel alright, but I'm just so cold. So someone here, and I want to cry, and I want to love, but all my tears have been used up. Someone here really wants to give something an honest chance, but they also can just feel so depleted and so drained from the betrayal, obviously. Okay. Virgo, I'm sorry. We're just gonna keep it there because it's gone on too long. Okay, after Virgo is Libra. Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Libra. Which way do I go? Dodo bird. Dodo bird, ostriches. Ostrich, dodo bird. Llama. Here's a llama, there's a llama, and another little llama. Llama, 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 duck. Some of my Libras, you can have some, what is it, ADD or OCD or ADHD or one of those things. You're a genius, but you need better time management, you need better plans, and you need to execute discipline over a period of time, and also do whatever you need to do for that, see whatever specialists that you need to see for those things. But for some of my Libras, there's something here about getting focused, a set schedule, executing that, and just day in and day out, what is the saying? Chop wood, carry water. That's what it is. Chop wood, carry water. Libra, that is your saying right now. You just chop wood, you carry water. You chop wood, you carry water. Eventually, it all comes together. But right now, you just chop wood, you carry water. Some of my Libras could have that thing where it's like they post something and they're like, did it get enough views? Did it get this yet? Did it get enough likes yet? Did it get enough? It's like the more that you put that energy out, the more that you're repelling the receiving. So Spirit is saying really just focus on authentic showing up and integrity showing up and doing something from your heart, honestly, authentically in every moment, and allowing God to handle where it is dispersed to. For some of my Libras, you could be traveling, or you could be called to travel, or you could even be moving in the next 6 months. Definitely for a work opportunity, you are being told to focus on your work. For some of my Libras, you could have a choice between two women. You are ready for new love, but you don't want to make the wrong choice. You are nervous about this. For some of my Libras, you are being really practical. Kind of like how I was telling Pisces they need to be practical. For some of my Libras, you're being really practical. Like, I like this. This is how an honest person dates multiple people. They're like, I'm not going to go far with any of them. It's just a Page of Pentacles. This isn't Wands energy. This isn't sexy energy. This is very practical. King of Swords with the Page of Pentacles. This is my belief system. This is what I want. This is what I desire. This is how I'll show up. This is what I expect for a relationship. It's like that. They're being very forthright about it. Yeah, and someone here really does genuinely want commitment with the Justice card, and they have a lot of suitors or a lot of competition, and because they don't have low standards, they have high standards with the Five of Wands and the Ten of Cups. They feel like the person that they really want, also is going to have that. So for some of my Libras, there's just healthy competition here, and someone being genuinely curious or hopeful that they can get the one that they want. I'm hearing that song from the musical Grease. You're the one that I want. Dun dun ooh ooh ooh, honey. So yeah, someone here could be like, they're the one that I want. Well, then why are you talking to the others? I don't know. I've never gotten that. I'm someone I usually don't make it past 1 or 2 dates with someone, because as soon as I know, I give them the good old chopping block with that Queen of Swords. I'm like, nope. I'm not going to be building a business with you. You're not going to be my divine union, divine masculine. You're not going to be my husband. So peace out. I don't know. Shoot it to him straight. Don't tag people along. I don't believe in that. So I don't know. But other people are like, well, maybe I'll feel differently after I see him for a few months. I've never understood that. You're wasting your time. You're wasting their time. You could just quit all that crap. Okay. Libras in relationships. Ooh. Naughty, naughty. Libra's in relationships. I hope it's an open relationship or a polygamy business. Because for some of my Libras, there's definitely someone's wondering, should I stay or should I go? And they could be like falling into temptation. I'm also hearing I'm falling into memories of you, the things we used to do. Follow me there. A beautiful somewhere, a place that I can share with you. Is that Ocean Avenue? Is it? Is it? I think it is. I don't know. Falling into memories. I can tell that you don't know me anymore. Sometimes anything but sure. Yeah, so someone here, this can be someone from like because now I'm hearing, oh, thinking about our younger years, we were young and wild and free. So someone here can be reminiscing on someone that they had a crush on in like elementary school, middle school, high school, and they're like in a commitment and it's pretty like bland, it's pretty plain, and they could be looking at someone who like that they knew from their younger years and they're like, I don't know that person anymore, but I want to know them. So they can be trying to find ways to like get into that person's life. They're like, what business do they have? Can I like get a service from them? Could I see them that way? Someone here is like trying to plan a way, but they're still in something else. Like they're still involved in something else. So that's interesting. That's curious, Libra. Okay, I'll leave that there. After Libra is Scorpio. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter, Scorpio. Yellow card. Yes. Yellow card. Scorpio. Okay, with the Six of Wands and the Star card. And the Five of Wands. Some of my Scorpios, you can be an athlete. You can be doing a performance, a competition. It seems like it's going to go well. You could be doing something that is competitive, or you could be training, or I don't know, it seems like you're the top of your class. There's something here, Scorpio, where you're doing it well. And it's because you're just like following your lane. Remember, like Pisces reading and other readings. You're just in your lane. You're just doing what you do. And the people that are all like meh at you could be where you are if they would get their nose out of your butt and out of your lane, and if they would focus on their own lane. Isn't that crazy? If people actually focus on their own lane and their own stuff, then that will actually progress rather than obsessing about and wishing negatively on someone else's. Isn't that so crazy? No, it's not. It's simple. But people are, I don't know. So, Scorpio, you have haters that are upset that something looks seamless and so easy for you when they don't realize it's because you're disciplined about it. You do it day in and day out. You eat, breathe, crap. You know, that's what you do. Like, you do that thing around the clock. That thing. You do that thing all the time. So it makes sense that you are mastering something, because the only difference in the master and the novice is the master's failed more than the novice has even tried. And you got all these novice people out here. They're like, to be a master. And you're over here like, you're not even calling yourself a master because you're failing constantly. You're like, I'm just having fun and failing constantly. But if the master is a master because they fail more than a novice even tries, then it's comical that these bumbling idiots are like, look at Scorpio being like, I'm a master at something, when it's like, I didn't even say that. The Scorpio's like, I didn't even say that. You said that. Like, you called me a master at that. You said that about me. But yeah, pay it no mind, Scorpio, because as we've already discovered, people that are hating on you are your biggest fans. And remember, happy people don't be hating, and hating people are not happy people. So just let them be. Likely you're in their life because God wants them to be triggered so that they can quit being such miserable people. So, yeah. And, like, don't feed into fake friends. And, like, Scorpio, just let it, like, just, you're being told to just go ghost on people. Don't give an explanation. When they say something to you and they're like baiting you to like say something back or rebuttal, don't, because they know darn well. They know darn well what they're doing. They know darn well they didn't have good intentions. They know darn well the crap that they spoke behind your back. They know darn well. They know better. They knew better. So just leave them to dust, let it be quiet, and just let bygones be bygones. Let bygones be bygones. For some of my Scorpios, you could be teaching others. You could have kids or pets or animals that you're training, that you could be competing or showing or, you know, doing different school activities. You could have like other kids or other parents at the school or whatever that are jealous and getting all willy-nilly with you. And this is kind of those things where, again, God is like, stay in your lane, and things will get better as you stay in your lane and you serve your lane, then God serves you. So when people can be like, oh, they're so lucky, it's like, again, Scorpio, you're not lucky. Your children are not lucky. It's just like, you stay in your lane. Your children really like what they do and they enjoy it. And they are like good students. Like, they focus, they want to learn. And so it's like, another parent is just upset because they're trying to force their kid to do something that your kid loves to do naturally, but their kid doesn't want to do, and it's your problem. Like, no, there's something here, Scorpio, where you really just have to let bygones be bygones and let people out themselves with the stupidity that they speak. And again, remember that God will always serve you when you stay in his lane that he designed for you, and you just walk in his path, you walk in the light that he illuminated for you, and you don't focus and obsess about other people's path and the path that God has designed for them. Because God's path for every single person is between God and that individual, and it's not for any human to have an opinion on or anything about. Anything at all, ever. Like, God's path for you is between you and God, period. Period. All right, for my Scorpios in relationship, you are being told that more self-care at this time. You also may need to kind of pull back from your partner and just kind of, I don't want to say kind of go ghost on them, but yeah, it seems like for some of my Scorpios, you could have a partner that has been a little unfair, a little selfish with you, has kind of pushed you around, or just hasn't been that nurturing or that respectful of you, and you aren't going to get anywhere by communicating this to them. However, you will get further if you just don't say anything to them and you simply tend to your garden, you simply care for yourself, and you provide what for yourself what they are not providing for you. And then when they eventually come around like, hey, you know, they say something, then it's like less is more. So it's kind of one of those situations where it's like, rather than beating a dead horse and asking someone constantly like, hey, I've asked so many times, could you just check in at night? Could you just say good morning? Could you just say good night? It's like, just stop. Just stop. Because then eventually there'll just be silence for days, and then eventually they're going to be like, so are we even dating anymore? And they may reach out to you and say something awkward and weird, and then you can just be like, oh yeah, well, you just, you know, weren't initiating anything, so I'm just tending to my garden, I'm just doing my self-care. So there is something here, Scorpio, where your advice is to be unbothered. Don't chase. Do not chase. Take care of your own stuff. And again, this person knows better. It's kind of like the Virgo reading. Someone knows better and they just don't want to do better, and they're trying to kind of bait and switch you to get out of character and to chase and to not be in this like self-love, nourishing energy that God has you in right now, Scorpio. So just stay there. Okay, after Scorpio is Sagittarius. Sagittarius, Sag, there's overindulgence. There is escapism here. I'm hearing throw it away, forget yesterday, da-da, the great escape, da-da, the word they say, they don't know us anyway. So something about I don't know who sings that song, but for some of my Sagittarians, you could want to escape from something. You feel like people are slandering or saying something and they don't know the real story, and you don't want to tell anyone the story, you just want to get away from something. There could be like, you want to get away, change your name, change your identity. There's that kind of thing going on, Sag. There's definitely someone wanting to plan a great escape. Some of my Sages definitely could be moving or wanting to move. Some of my Sages could even be doing like a whole rewrite up, like going from one career field into a totally different career field. And this can be something that you've been waiting on for a while. I'm hearing waiting on the world to change, keep on waiting. So you could keep on waiting for the world to change, and then God is like, why are you waiting for the world to change when you can change in my image of you? So for some of my Sages, there can also be a change of heart when it comes to religious beliefs. You can be walking in a different light and people can be like questioning that. Again, your connection with God is between you and God. It's not between anyone in this world except you and God. And if other people want to make it about them, then I promise you God will make that a teachable moment for them. But as for you, just stay in your image that he has made of you. So Sag, don't feel any certain way if your beliefs are changing and you're expressing that and people are trying to bait and switch you or trying to cast judgment when they're not God. So that's funny. But yeah, there's something like that going on. There's definitely he who cast the first stone. Yeah, for a lot of my Sages, there's moving here. Chariot with the Ten of Pentacles is moving. Some of my Sages have even been researching this for a while. Someone here could be moving around September, or from September to October. There could be an offer that comes in that would require a move. And again, you're just waiting on this. For some of my Sages, you could already have offers out. You could already, you know, have something in the mix. This can also be like someone who's expecting. It's like, I am due in this month. Or something can also be seasonal where it's like these jobs come up during this, like it's like Halloween jobs come up around Halloween, you know, Christmas jobs come up around Christmas. So there's something that could be seasonal here and someone's just waiting for the right season. And it does seem, Sag, like there is a solid fit here. There is a good offer. For some of my Sages, someone who played around in the past, who didn't want to take someone seriously, now wants to take someone seriously. And someone here could be wondering how to even communicate and go about communicating to this person that they would like to take them seriously. Someone here definitely was feeling heartbroken about their endeavors in the past, especially if someone was kind of like a player who didn't really, you know, who just like ghosted people sometimes. It's like sometimes they would respond, sometimes they wouldn't, sometimes this, sometimes that. Like you never know what you're going to get with this person. That didn't pay off for them. And they're not feeling like they won anything. They actually feel the Two of Cups is behind this man's back. So this person actually feels dumb. They're like, I was dumb to do that. I effed around and I found out. That's the epitome of this spread, Sag. Someone effed around, they found out, now they're sorry, they don't want to eff around anymore. And for some of my Sages, this can also be an employer who like didn't choose you or didn't choose something last season. And because something is seasonal, they realized like they were not on the winning team. Like what they chose was not the winning player, the winning person, or the winning employee. And now they're like looking at someone else from a distance and they're like, I got my eyes on that one. I want that one. Bless you.